Hello viewers, Dan Darkfire here, and I seem to have forgotten that I was at Bray Inspectors, so I'm going to get out of here. Bunch of noobs. So I think it's time for the next RS Progress. I am trying to start doing them more frequently, but a few days ago I was at a wedding and I've been trying to enjoy myself for this week holiday I've had. Now, I've got a kiln cape. Alright, I did the fight kiln, and I'm now doing the fight kiln for money. I mean, you look at my pouch there, it doesn't look like I've been doing it for money. RuneScape's ambient sounds are really loud at the moment. I will turn the RuneScape sound off now. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to go and get a Sleigh task from Curadal. The most recent RuneScape behind the scenes showed the Order of Ascension update that's going to be coming out early this June. I'm really looking forward to that. The monsters, I've got the Sleigh 4, and I've got a really good range, and I think I could save up a good enough amount of money for Pernix. The only thing that's bothering me is my Sleigh level. It is not high enough for the bosses. The bosses will need 95, and I only have, well, when I started power training this after watching that video, 87. I have 3,848,000 XP to go, and I'm not gonna fucking get it if Curadel is giving me aberrant spectres. I'm trying to get into the habit of saving up my points so I can do this. When I started doing Slayer 85, I was on 200 points, so it's alright. As long as I don't cancel, oh my god, as long as I don't cancel too many tasks, then I should be fine. And it's only a matter of, really, I just did that and they're so boring. Gargoyles are so boring. I want it to give me fucking, excuse my language, metal dragons. I like metal dragons. Bloodfeld. I haven't done that in a while. Come on. 89 Slayer, give me something good. I've cancelled far too many. What is my points on now? Dear God. Well, let's do those. Wait. There we are. So I got a kiln cape and I did the Brink of Extinction. The Brink of Extinction was really fun. The boss fight killed me. It was either 2 or 3 times. I can't remember what kept catching me off guard. No, I can't remember what was catching me off guard. I think I was trying to use melee and switch to mage when he was walking into the lava, but I just used to hold mage the whole boss. I liked Tokarhok. He was all like, "Oh, let our sport be glorious," when I did the kill a few times, and now he's the bad guy. I don't like him being the bad guy. Well, I like my title to Tsar. It's pretty much the only title I'll have. I'd probably have Super Awesome Mega Hyper God if that was a title. But no, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm trying to rush Slayer really hard. And along the way, I'll pick up the 90 Slayer, player imports requirements, so I'll finally get to start on that. And you might get to hear how I'm doing on that as well, because 422k XP. I could do that tomorrow, it shouldn't be that hard. Well, I probably won't do it tomorrow because goddamn stupid geography exams. So, what else have I done? The kiln is really cool. It's 3.3 mil an hour because get Onyx with 3.3 mil, and it takes me about a minute to do it. If I include restocking and I just go straight back in there, not selling the Onyx, just banking it to sell later. What really disappoints me is the fact that an Onyx used to be 8.7 mil, and a few months after the kiln was released it was 5 mil, and now I've come to do it, it's 3.3. I don't think it will drop anymore because I don't think Jagex would add something else which would cause the Onyx to drop in price. That would just be mean. And if they did, they'd probably have to end up adding a new gemstone or something, which would be awesome because they could add some high level bolts. We're supposed to be getting Ascension bolts with the Ascension crossbows, and now that I come to think of it right this second, it might make the Ascension crossbows more powerful than Drygor's. I think that on the list of updates that Jagex mentioned, there was something to do with mage that would probably include some magic equipment, and that would be the level 90 magic weapons, and it makes absolute 100% mega special sense. That's a good idea. I will go and look at this list now. Is Fraps working? Yes it is. It's lagging on Google Chrome again, but here's the web page of full screen Google Chrome for you. Order of Ascension, blah 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 blah, blah. Need 95 Slayer. Or a Corpse Slayer buddy with that level, so after I've done it a few times by myself, if it's too hard, I could probably bring Josh with me. His range level is not bad, and it's not like, well, he'd have the Royal Crossbow, which is what I'd be using as well, because I'd be there trying to get the proper mega crossbows. The one thing that's really bothering me is that I think this will come out. Oh, there's a Canada on the shelf. I think this will come out no later than the 18th. Because this is a low update month, and one of the weeks is going to be reserved for this other special Crystal Triskelion update, and it can't be really that late because it's the first listed. I think Jagex always lists them chronologically somewhat, so I don't think it'd be any later than the 18th, but I have a strong feeling it will be next week. And if it looked finished in the update, and if it's next week, in the middle of next week, then I won't have finished the Slayer, and I won't be one of those first people getting my hands on the crossbow, and that really, really disappoints me. I wanted to be one of the first guys in there. I don't want to be in there 2 weeks after. So all I can hope is that it's released later in the month, so I've got time to get 95 Slayer, and perhaps reserve one day to do a few kiln runs so I can stock up a few thousand Rocktail, a few hundred restores, and maybe even a couple of bits of Pernix. I mean, if it's released at the very end of the month, I might have time to get a Pernix set. But we'll see, of course. I'll probably, in that time, make some good progress to 99 magic in the kiln. I think it's like 50 to 100k magic XP for a kiln run. So, if I did like, if it's 3 mil a kiln, and I need to do 33 to get 100 mil, because a Pernix set is 100 mil. What am I on the calculator for? I can't even remember. Oh well, I wanted to look at some of these other updates that are planned. Oh yeah, updates they're working on at the moment. So RuneScape 3 is supposed to be the middle of this year. Divination skill, they won't tell us what skill 2 is yet. I'm not too interested in the Dwarf Finale quest because I haven't done the previous Dwarf quests. I'm interested to see what the Barrow stuff is. Epic World Events. What that says to me is like, I don't know, earthquakes, or perhaps Zamrock is going to come up and, you know, torch Ardoon Market, and you're going to have to go there with a bunch of Saradomin followers and launch a crusade all the way from Falador to Ardoin because it's been taken over. Oh, this is going to be good! New loyalty store stuff. It's about fucking time. Considering that, I'm gonna start not spending points. Yeah, that's a good idea. Right, where did it say magic? New bank, construction, new trees. Oh. Combat mobs. That sounds awesome. Aha! Bosses, epic bosses with powerful loot for mages. So, these epic, super awesome mega bosses are all dropping the level 90 equipment, weapons. Calflight King, the Drygors, and the... Oh god, it's Ascension, isn't it? Ascension bosses are dropping the level 90 range weapons, so yeah, there's gonna be another boss or set of bosses dropping the level 90 mage. Maybe it'll be wand and book and orb, or maybe it'll be I think it'll be dual wielding again, but I'm not sure. It's because Jagex like dual wielding now. It could be a staff, we don't know yet. But I'd like it to be dual wielding because I like dual wielding is pretty. Won't I read some of these updates? What do I think they'll be like? New trees. What really is there after magic trees? It's gonna be nice. Maybe I'll be able to do something with my 78 woodcut and just chill in. Probably not though. RuneScape 3 will be absolutely awesome. Divination skill. I said to Josh a couple of weeks ago that I'll be the first to 99 divination. Ha, lol. I'd probably actually pursue that goal if all of a sudden I wasn't using up these 2 weeks to do Slayer, and I'm making the assumption that RuneScape 3 will be released in August. And I want 99 magic and 99 Slayer and all the equipment before then. And if divination is being released with RuneScape 3, am I going to be able to do it, or am I going to be doing something else that I'm going to have to stop? I don't want to have to do that. Skill 2, looking forward to that. Dwarf Eye, Browers Brothers Deluxe. Can they really get more awesome? Yes, they can. From the sounds of it, when I first saw Barrows Brothers Deluxe, I thought it was another Barrows brother. Sorry, maybe a Barrows sister. That would be cool. They'd have. Oh dear, no, that would not work. They would be the Barrows siblings, and they would lose their alliteration. What could it be instead? Barrows is like a dungeon, isn't it? So maybe I'll get back to you on that, but probably not. Seasonal high scores. Check on the recent. Suomi is not going to be happy. Bringing home the bacon. It sounds like a kiddie jokey pet quest, like, you know, like the meat pie. So I have the feeling that's just going to be another novice quest, and maybe it's going to introduce something fundamental to the game. I mean, like the meat pie doesn't. Or it could just be another master quest. It seems that all of the quests being released lately are either on either extreme side of the scale. There hasn't been many intermediate experience level quests. I don't think. You might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but it does seem like there are coming to be a bit few too many master quests. Maybe they're getting all their epic ideas out first onto the master quests, which is cool, but I don't think that the lists of quests should be top epic. Pickpocketing summoners. What I think this is summoning and thieving. Haven't had a update lately, and they had a cool idea for an update, so they're adding this. Pickpocketing summoners. Are you pickpocketing people who are summoners, or are you summoners who are pickpocketing? Halloween I'm not too interested in, especially since they haven't captioned it very well with Woo Scary. I think I've only done like one Halloween update, and that was the one which will have been 2009 or 2010 or 2011. Kind of broad, I know. But it was the one with Eek the Spider, and I remember a giant spider web, and I remember it being very, very short, and you got the web cloak, and everybody wore the web cloak because it was cool and it was nice. And there was no Solons back then, so you wore that. And I wore that regardless of the team cape having high defense. Construction rework. I always felt that construction seemed a little dated, a little old. One problem I have with RuneScape is parts of the game feel... I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was awesome in like 2006. I see these, you know, the new Taverley dungeon, and it's really cool, and there's blue bricks everywhere, and a new KBD. But then, what were they called? God Emissaries. I went and did one of these missions, and they're cool, and I'm going there with my pretty banner, and I'm doing my pretty mission, and I chose Seren because, you know, I didn't know Zaros sounded evil, and I didn't want to be evil, and Seren was the closest to what I wanted to be. I'm there with my pretty banner, and she's like, ooh, we need this enchanted, but we need to get this guy out of the Yaranil prison. And then all these guards that look really noobish are attacking me in this really noobish looking place. I like the idea behind that whole mission, but and all that stuff going on in the overworld, yeah, it was cool, but it's just Yaranil just looks updated, and the time it's going to take them to update the entire map based on how long it takes them to do updates and how quickly they've been updating graphical parts of the game. It will take them, if they were to do it solid from now, at least a year. So it's going to be years before it's all finished, which upsets me a little, but I'm okay with that, especially with What's-It-Face coming, Order of Ascension. But this also shows to me that, you know, is Fraps working? Yes, it is. Yeah, it shows me that they have some nice ideas, and you know, I actually stopped recording at that one point where you probably noticed the jump, because I had to go to bed because I'm a little boy with school in the morning. And in the period of time that it's took me to get back to making this video, Order of Ascension has been released. Facepalm. So I think I'm going to show you what I've done on Order of Ascension now. And I'm back, and it looks like we got some music that I should turn off. Order of Ascension is inventory. Order of Ascension is awesome. I think I spent 2 hours there. It was really, really fun. There's this room with different monsters. There's 4 kinds of monsters. There's the little weak ones. There's these ones with a big shield that you either have to stun them and run behind them to shoot them, or distract them while another person shoots them. There's speedy ones that move around and don't let you rapid fire them properly. Then there's the healers that fucking buff all the other ones while she's in the room, so you have to kill her first. There's 6 bosses in the dungeon, and each of these 6 bosses require 95 Slayer to get into, and they all have their own specific keystone, and the keystone is uncommon rare drop. It's in between the two. The keystone's like, I'd say 1 in 50, maybe 1 in 300 chance. I I filled all the pages in the book because I wanted to, and stopped recording for fucking. And in the period of time it took me to get all of the pages, I had 5 of the keys, all of them except Tertius, which I bought off the GE for 300k. Now the trade price, if you price check them, is 50k, but they will. Well, it's probably going to be very different by the time this video is uploaded. But one sold for 600k, one sold for 700k. Maybe I should check the history. Yeah, no. Yeah, a Quartus key sold for 650. A Secundus key sold for 500k. And I bought the Tertius key because it was the only one I didn't have. As you can see, I'm buying some bronze arrows because the untradeable Ascension fragments that can be added to bronze arrows to make, I think they're the most powerful arrows, but we're going to buy a dragon arrow and compare the stats when the game stops lagging. They also drop these shards, and one shard will turn into 1 bolt when you fletch it. You don't need any of the components, but you need 90 fletching. Don't know what fletching this requires. Let me have a look. You've got 90 fletching, you've got all the fletching levels. Yes, it requires 60 to make the arrows, 90 to make the bolts, I think. And it appears that the arrows are really weak. Well, really weak in general. They may as well be bronze arrows, it seems. But they have the same damage as royal boats against ascended. What are you doing, game? This is good because the Ascension monsters aren't weak to bolts, they're weak to arrows. Which is why I've got a dark bow. I didn't know about this, but a few months into the evolution of combat, the bow was buffed because it was shit. It's got damage of 765. So if we had 768, which I can't do without a calculator, it's about 1,500, and then the royal crossbow is 1,700. So the damage is going to be a little bit less, but it's going to be a lot more accuracy. So if you plan on kicking about on killing the monsters, then use a dark bow and pick up these fragments and make the arrows. You can, the arrows might be tradable, the components aren't, so it could keep a steady price if they have to be made. Well, they have to be made anyway, but I don't know. Is there anything else I have to talk about? No, I guess there isn't. Maybe I'll go back there just for the end of the video after I've made all these arrows. I'm eating fruit flavoured Mentos, if you were wondering. Now after this place, well, yeah, I want to. This guy is still here. Maybe I'm going to talk to him. I want to get the Sleigh level for the bosses. Now I have all the keys and the arrows ready. If the bosses are weak to arrows, that would be awesome. Hopefully I can get the crossbow. Can you give me anything to help? Carry magical signets. Take signets, kill lesser. Bring 1 dragon crossbow, 6 different ascension signets, and 100 ascension shards. I just used up all my shards! You bellend! Go. Well, that does mean it will be a fun little campaign going and getting all of the shit. I can't believe that guy's actually hogging all of those. Oh, I don't care, I'll test it on the big one. Oh my god, it did not stun him. Now I am angered. Josh is trying to tell me something. Oh my god, what the hell? We're fighting this now. We're fighting him. I don't know if this is good or not. I wouldn't think so. I reckon it's gotta be momentum. Right, let's have a go. Doesn't mean we're not going to be able to fight them. Okay, dark bow is not my favourite. Accuracy is good. Strength is not. Okay, don't use a dark bow. Well, I guess that's all I have to say. Other than, I plan on grinding the 95 Slayer in order to do the bosses, and along the way I'll have 90 Slayer, which I can then do, so I can then do player imports. Goodbye.